Hello, traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. It's Monday, January the 8th, the year 2018. Process or results? I believe I had a few videos on focus in the not too distant past. And when we're talking about trading, usually people are thinking about, all the money they're going to make and how many Ferraris and Lamborghinis they're going to have in their garage, and, if they're going to buy a G5 or a G7 Gulfstream, or, how many villas they're going to have on southern France, or condos in Dubai or something, it's all, that's all about the results. Well, the only way to get those results is if you follow your process. And I know it's tough to do because we're human and we have a tendency to want the short-term gratification. I'm sure you guys have heard about that and read about that. I don't really need to drone on about short-term versus long-term gratification, but it's really tough because many people, when they're trading, they do focus. They're so focused on this one trade, this particular trade that they're in, and they want this trade to be a winner, and if it's not, then it might cause them to abandon their process. Oh, I got to find a new indicator. No, I got to find a new system, et cetera, et cetera. But you just have to realize that no matter what system, you're going to have streaks. You're going to have quote unquote hot streaks and cold streaks. But there was a book put out, I think it was by Nate Silverman. I'm not sure which one it was. I'm not sure if it was Signal and the Noise or not. I'd have to go back and look. But basically, all those hot streaks and cold streaks are just part of the normal distribution of the process. The results, produced by the process. So if a baseball player is hot, or a basketball player seems like he can't miss, feed him the ball. Yeah, that's going to happen for a while, but that's just part of the normal distribution. And it's just that simple. So the point is that if you have a system, a method, you have to stick with it. Because if it's profitable and all of a sudden, you might be hitting that quote-unquote cold streak, don't abandon ship. Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Stick with it. Just keep doing. Don't worry about the result, because if you stick with the process and then you look over the course of your of the session or sessions, you'll see that you probably will have positive results. So, for example, if you try something that I show, don't just try it once or twice. No, you got to stick with it for at least a week, if not an entire month, and then see if it's working. And then don't be so quick to abandon the system or the method. Make sure you understand it. Make sure you are executing it flawlessly. Because if you do that, you'll produce the results. And not just with my systems, but with the other systems, including some of those squiggly line systems that I like to poke fun at. And remember, no matter what system or method, who you get it from or what it is, money and risk management is most important, because this is what's going to keep you in the game. See, the idea is to be able to stay in the game, keep trading. It's almost like survival, because if you die, if you lose all the money and you can't trade, well, you died. So you have to survive. Now, let's look. Okay, we've got the fill. We filled the gap. I think we did that yesterday. You can see right here. We still have a few open gaps. for those of you who like to trade. Ooh, Australian dollar open gap. That could be interesting. But we're focused on the euro at least for another week. And as you can see, right now the week is red. It's going down. And 2 days in a row, down 4 H4 candles in a row, 5 H1s in a row, down 2 M30s and 5 M15s down. But you can see we've got some green candles happening on the lower 2 time frames. But the euro right now is going down. And we can look at the daily and we can see right here it broke through the previous session, Friday's low, and it's down. And it's way down. You can see it's 60 pips below. Oh, and for the people, I think what I should do is I'll put this screen up and you can see what indicators are on these charts. So I'll leave that up for a couple minutes so you can see those. And I should probably go back a chart and do the same thing because people ask me, and this is one I didn't write, the Sonic 3. I think the one I use I modified slightly, but I didn't repost it, so since it's on my computer, not somebody else's, I didn't post it, so it doesn't say TRO modified. So if it's one of mine, it's going to start with TRO. If it's somebody else was the original coder and I modified it, I put the TRO modified. Some people call me the renaming one, but you know, once again, my background's computer science. If you change code, you better either A, rename it so it doesn't step on the original, or B, you better have a backup of that original in case your modification has a bug in it or is causing problems. So that's why I do that. So once again, you can see here on the daily, we can look at the range. We've got a couple over 100 here on the dashboard. And you can see here we've got some rat reversal candidates here. And if they're both lit up, then this one's not, because see, we only have a range of 36 and you need a range greater than 40 to execute a rat reversal trade coming out, or rather rat zone trade. And here we have the simple buy zone. Once again, let me show you the indicators that I'm using on this screen. Here we go. We took a buy zone trade there. You were able to take profit. You come down here, you take a sell zone trade, take a little heat, and then you see it's profit. So right there, simple trades, horizontal lines, and that's the TRO buy zone indicator. Very, very, very simple. Simple trade, positive. So if you're once again, if you're trading this, you stick with it. Now, yes, sometimes you might take some heat, sometimes you might stop out, but that's just trading. You're going to get that with any system. You just have to stick with it. You focus on that process. You make sure you're not late entering the buy zone, because I mean, if you wait to here, you're not going to have much profit. So flawless execution, that is your goal, because if you have that, then your system should produce or will produce the results. But if you mess up on the execution, do not blame the system. And once again, we've got the euro in the green rat zone. You see it just popped in a lower low. That's why those two are different. And let me bring up the indicator list here. And this is the TRO rat zone that does all of this. And you guys know where I post my code, so I don't need to do that. So if this video, I put these videos on different sites, and some people like to say I'm spamming their sites trying to get you to go to a different site. No, I'm just sharing what I do. You know, some people are saying I'm trying to get YouTube views. No, I'm just sharing what I do. You know, video, we're in the 21st century. I mean, just posting static charts, sure, it has their place, but I think video is much better. It's easier for me to do a 10-15 minute video say what I want to say rather than have to write it down or type it in. I just feel this is better. And then you can see things happening live, or you can see things, at least when I took the shot it was live, you can see how things are working. Okay, moving on to the pivots. This is the SDK pivots indicator. I modified it. And one of the things I put in was the future pivot point, so you know what price will be wanting to hit at a later time. Once again, the pivot trade, we've got the daily open line. Price came up and hit the pivot. So there was money to be made there. Then it reversed back, hit S1, hit S2. You see the weekly S1 right there. So you probably want to look for fading. And here's the weekly pivot. So you're going to probably want to look for a fade back to the weekly pivot coming off a weekly low. Simple price action. You know, this one's probably got a bunch of different indicators that I've written, but that's not what's important. What's important is just learning the price action, the turn trades, the higher highs and higher lows. It's just that simple. And actually, you know, some of these indicators I don't even think I've released yet. Let's see. Yeah, like I don't think I've released the training wheels. I may have. I'm not sure. I have to look. Because once again, that's not what's important. So you see we've got a 3-ball from the 3-level ZZ modified version right there. And on these charts, I don't have all the mods. I don't have the mods turned on, except it'll tell you which way to trade. So you got a 3-ball on the bottom, green meaning you're going to look to buy next bar. It's not telling you to buy next bar. You're going to look to see, does it make sense to buy next bar? So once again, you can see here we've got lower lows, we've got lower highs. This is telling you which way to go. Now on the 1 minute though, we've got 6 higher lows. So it looks like there might be a slight comeback here. So we have to wait a little bit for the M1 to load. Oh yeah, there was somebody else out there that had, I don't know if it was a question or a suggestion or a jab, but something about what I need to do. I need to post live trades and do this and do this. Look, I'm not going to get into these, you know, body part measuring contest, okay? I've done the live trading thing. You can come to my Pal Talk chat room, the 2% club, as in TWO% club. You want to see live trades or talk live trades, we could do that there. That's not what these videos are about. You know, and you know, showing, you know, how to compute something, you know, obviously from the way you've been posting, you can do that, so you do it. I'm not here to, you know, do what somebody else says. I'm not playing anybody else's game on the internet anymore. I'm not doing that. I've done that before. It's a waste of my time. You'll never be satisfied. So you can feel free to ask questions and make nice suggestions, but I am not your dog. I'm not going to sit when you tell me to sit. I'm not going to fetch when you tell me to fetch. And enough of that. Okay, the 5 lines, simple. We've taken yesterday's high, open, mid, close, and low. We're trading with the H1 candle color at the line, and you can see what happens there. A real quick show of the indicators. It's all the HL5, which I've updated. The wick zones, real simple. The 1 indicator. Price doesn't like to stay inside the wick zone. It's on the chart there. And the holo zone, once again, it's 1 simple indicator. It's all there. and the reminder screen, and these haven't been released yet, but I'll just stick them up there anyway. And fellow traders, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it.